Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer. I too would like to pay tribute to Angus MacDonald for bringing this. I think it is an important concept. It's one that has been around for a good few years. As I was saying to him earlier, I myself remember going to speak at a conference in Christiansund some decade ago, supported by Forth Ports Limited, where the authority in the Christiansund area was very keen. Equally, despite the fact that I think there is a good deal of desire for it, and there's good reason why it should be, I don't think we should underestimate, and I think, to be fair to Angus MacDonald, he hasn't underestimated the difficulties and the challenges. It is, as I say, I think a good idea, and we need to work at it and for it. And equally, I would concur with what David Stewart was saying. I have read Roy Peterson's book. I know him personally, and I would recommend it. It tends to be more geared towards Scotland than international links, but the points are made within that book. I think there's good reason why we should do it. The links with Scotland and Scandinavia are long-standing. There's something manifestly wrong when you look at a globe, an atlas, a map, and you see the close proximity. Scots travelled across there long before they were going down and back up the Thames. When I was in Christiansund, I remember going out for a walk from the hotel I was staying in to notice that the street the hotel was situated on was Ramsay Gata. I was told when I raised this that the street in from the airport had been Dal Straza. The major company that we also went to see that was involved in fishing was Gordon, and indeed other Scots names abound, whether Grieg or anywhere else. That was due to emigration encouraged by King Haakon back in post-Jacobite era. But just because there's those historic links doesn't mean it can operate today, and we shouldn't underestimate the challenges. Low-cost carriers have come in, and that has undermined the efforts, and I can simply concur with the comment made by Angus MacDonald. Although I went to Christiansund a decade ago, some 4 years ago, my son went to study for 2 years at Gothenburg University in Sweden. As the caring father, I thought, oh well, I could drive him over. I'll go and get a ferry from Newcastle. And as Angus MacDonald has said, no, you can't. I thought I'll go down to Hull. No, you can't. Eventually, the only route, as he pointed out, was actually Esbjerg to Denmark. That, I understand from him, is simply now gone. And then I would have had to travel all the way up, having crossed the Öresund, back up through Sweden. There's something manifestly wrong with that. I do appreciate that it was much easier, apart from initially going with my son to deposit his belongings, it was much easier to take the Ryanair flight into Gothenburg, and that's how people tend to go between Edinburgh and Gothenburg, but not all. And it certainly doesn't deal with the trade. And there are huge links, not simply in the oil sector, between Scotland and Norway. The fishing industry is significant, and I do remember discussions at one stage with Forth Ports where it was considered whether they should be able to take the Rosyth to Brugge ferry up to Aberdeen that would have linked in also with ferries coming across from Norway. So, as I say, I think there's a desire for it. We have to recognise the challenges, not simply that we are in an age of low-cost travel through airlines. Despite the challenges that causes for the environment, it's probably a reason why we do have to look at other alternatives, because we cannot go on with the problems that we're causing in the environment. And low-cost travel is desired, but we have to look elsewhere. The challenge is significant. It's not simply about getting one government, but probably two, if not more. It's about interacting, as we'll no doubt hear from the Minister, with the European Commission. It's about making sure that not only do we have ferry operators, but we've also got those who operate ports, given that they've been privatised in the main ones here in Scotland. We have to make sure that there is, in fact, a travel and a trade. I think the trade can be generated, equally in terms of the travel. Many might choose to go by the Ryanair flight. Others will wish to take a more sedentary journey and enjoy the sail, as we see with the growth in cruise liners. So, as I say, I recognise the difficulties, but I think this is a matter that's long overdue. I pay tribute to the member for raising it, and will support his campaign and indeed any other campaigns being raised to try and ensure that we can deliver it.